Welcome back. Joining us now is a familiar face from HGTV and beyond, designer, tastemaker, and NEXTStage headline host, Taniya Nayak. Welcome.
Thank you.
You've been a busy bee since you've been here.
Oh, it's been busy and buzzing all day long. Doesn't your brain buzz when you go home at the end of the night?
It does.
You're like,
it's hard
whoa.
to turn off.
It is, but it's so much. Like, there's so much to
Well, you
see.
were moderating yesterday. You were leading award shows. Tell us what you've been up to.
I got to be day one host on the main stage, which was really fun. I've been to KBIS and I've seen the hosts, and I see how much it is, like how exciting it is and all the things they get to do. So there was a 30 under 30 award, so I was a part of that. I moderated 2 panels, and I kind of just kept the day moving along. So it was really fun. I met a lot of people.
Well, I want to pivot to talk about the show that you just recently wrapped,
Oh my
Rock
gosh.
the Block.
I'm going to tell you.
What was the experience?
The wildest experience. I've been doing television for over 20 years now. Hands down the wildest experience I've ever done. And I did Restaurant Impossible for 13 years where we were flipping restaurants in 24 hours.
That's
crazy. This was crazier in my mind.
Why was it crazier?
It was just, we're taking a house and in 6 weeks we're starting with concrete subfloor and like basically bare drywall. And in 6 weeks time we've moved walls, taken down walls, added windows, added plumbing, built out kitchens, but all of that, and then staging it and like literally making it move-in ready. It was wild.
So from a production standpoint, if we're talking like TV behind the scenes, you are actually there for 6 weeks working on it?
Yes.
Day in and day out?
Day in and day out, but I'm also like eating, sleeping. You can't sleep because
it's like a marathon.
Yeah, your brain is constantly thinking, oh my gosh, if I don't catch this now, it's going to be too late because work is constantly happening. So,
Right. It's not like one thing stops.
Yes.
You're juggling a lot of balls in the air. Now, the show premise, there are 4 homes. I mean, you're competing against 3 others.
Right.
So, is it friendly competition, or are you really duking it out?
Well, it's funny because in years past, there have been some duke outs, that have happened, and it's all it's a competition, of course.
Right, you want to win.
Right. This year, we teamed up with celebrities, and it was a different vibe, I think. Like, we really, all 4 teams became this one giant family. We're in a group chat. Like, we all still stay in touch since we wrapped. And, like, we still hang out. We still, if one of us is visiting another town that someone's in, we'll reach out and grab lunch. So the camaraderie was next level.
When you are with each other for 6 weeks straight, I mean, you kind of become like family, I would imagine.
We did. We really did.
So what is this celebrity twist? Tell us more.
Yeah, the celebrity twist is like every year so far on Rock the Block, they've had duos from HGTV. Okay, so it's been a team from HGTV, whatever. This year, it was an HGTV talent paired up with a celebrity. So mine was Drew Lachey from 98 Degrees. Yeah, he is
I
so
used to
fun.
love, that is fun.
Yeah, we were literally, he won Dancing with the Stars on the season 1. I think it was season 1 or 2. And so we're literally like dancing, he's singing, we're working. It was like,
that makes it fun.
It was fun. It was really fun. Yeah.
So, and he's pretty handy, I feel like. Isn't he?
Yeah, he had a show on DIY.
I remember this.
So I was like, I thought, is this guy going to just pretend to do tile on camera?
But no.
No, he really did. Like, I walked away and I came back and the whole thing was tiled. I'm like, dude, where did you learn how to do this?
Wait, so can you tell us who some of the other celebrities were?
Yeah,
who are they?
Well, I'll tell you the HGTV people who you'll be very familiar with, which Scott McGilvery. He was teamed up with Brooke Hogan. Hulk Hogan's daughter.
Yes.
Did you even know she was a designer?
I did not.
Didn't know it either. And she is so talented and just a light. She's so fun and like so real. And then Nina Starziak-Hawk, she teamed up with Vernon Davis, who, do you know him? From the 49ers.
Yep.
Girl, you know your sports, huh?
Just a little bit.
Yeah,
just a little bit. Not a lot. Don't push me too hard on this.
He's also an artist and a designer, so they were a team. And then we had Kim Wolf and Chelsea Meisner. They were both on Survivor.
Oh, cool.
Chelsea was also on Southern Charm.
Well, watch out. If somebody was on Survivor,
I mean, honestly.
They know how to do this.
And they were so quiet the whole time, and I was just like, what is going on
Stealthy.
over there? They had stuff up their sleeve.
Well, this is going to be really exciting to watch. So you just wrapped. Now, when you come from this TV world of being able to produce something in 6 weeks and get a whole house done, and then you move into your other daytime job of being a designer, and clients, do they come to you and they're like, oh, I just saw that you did that whole house in 6 weeks. I'd like something done really fast. I mean, are the expectations, they need to be tempered a little bit for clients?
Always. But it's not even just with me as an HGTV designer and they expect it. I think in general, all designers have to manage their expectations because things always take longer. I mean, we all know that. And you know, you want to get the quality right. You want to make sure it's done right. And when you speed things up, mistakes can happen, and you'll see that on the show, which a lot of mistakes happen because of time.
With speed. Well, you're sort of known for approachable, functional style. Can you share some key principles that you always follow to attain this look?
Yeah, I can. Yes, I can. So I can go in a whole bunch of different directions with this, but I'm going to make it actually a real simple to the core kind of principle that I tell a lot of people who are just starting to explore this world of wanting to start a renovation or a design. So not from a designer's perspective, but from the client's end. If they could just, a lot of times they're like, oh, I like that, but I can't imagine that in my house, or I don't know at all what I want. I always tell them, open up your closet door, look at what you wear on a regular basis. So if normally you're a jeans and t-shirt kind of person, then you probably prefer a very casual, calm, relaxed space. If you like sparkles, you know, or maybe just a touch of it, then maybe you like that little one touch of a little bit of, exactly, tailored, formal. For me, I'm very monochromatic, and it's like, I didn't know you were going to ask me that question, but this literally would dictate what I'm comfortable with.
Does this mean your home is sort of neutral?
It's neutral, monochromatic, comfortable. It's like linen, you know. And so I think that there's a nod to that. I like a touch of elegance, so I do like to have a few
your jewelry on you, but then also your jewelry in the home. We've actually been talking a lot about that with other designers who have stopped by. You know, they talk about the hardware in kitchens or in bathrooms, or just to add that little bit of elegance to a space that might otherwise be kind of relaxed, but then you have that extra surprise.
Right, and I think if you can break it down that way and say, not the outfit that I would wear to an event, but the clothes I gravitate towards every day. Well, really, if somebody likes bold pattern and color every day, then they probably are comfortable with a bold wall covering in their house or bold fabrics, you know?
That's a really interesting perspective that I actually haven't heard before. But I do think that when you see somebody who is sort of dressed impeccably, whether or not it be casually, you know, maybe a great pair of tailored jeans and a crisp button down, I mean, that's its own
that says a lot about their style.
And then you might meet somebody who looks great in a very tailored suit with pumps and a fantastic bag. I usually think that style and homes go hand in hand with each other, so I sort of think that, like, they must have a great house on the inside if this is kind of like the armor that they're going outside wearing. I don't know, I do think they go hand in hand, so I think your perspective is really interesting. Let's talk a minute about restaurants, because this is also an area, I mean, you're like the jack of all trades, you do everything here. You've been working on a restaurant.
Yeah, well, so my husband and I own restaurants. We have 9 different locations of different restaurants, so it's kind of a marriage made in heaven.
And this is one of them right here?
Yeah, oh, well, so that's one that I designed, actually. So this is not one that we own, but one that I designed. It's Tuscan Kitchen. We've done a lot of work with the Tuscan group, so this one is in Salem, New Hampshire. It's just, it's my love. It is my love.
Wine rack.
It's insane, and it's actually a wine room. You can walk in between. This is a rooftop, owned by the same restaurant owners, but this is a separate restaurant and rooftop space that it's just, I love seeing people gather in the spaces. To me, when you can, you know how hard it is to design for one client. Right? So a restaurant, I'm designing for the client, but then I'm also designing for the masses. Like, I want everybody to come in and feel comfortable there, or have something in there that really is special or a takeaway for them, but that the owner is really proud of too. So it's like, how do you do that, right?
How do you approach a residential project, you know, for a family or for a couple or whatever it may be, versus a hospitality project? Because I would imagine from business perspectives, they're entirely different.
Yeah. You know, the only difference, I think it starts the same way. We start with sort of concepts, images, things that are meaningful to them. But from a restaurant perspective, I'm really looking at their menu, their price point. I like to talk to the chef, you know. I like to look at the demographics. I want to see, is it a neighborhood restaurant? Are people coming in multiple times a week? Or is it a specialty restaurant where they're coming in once in a while and they want that really special celebration type of vibe in there? So, you know, it's approached a little differently.
What about budget-wise? I mean,
yeah.
Is that different too? Hospitality versus residential?
I mean, the number tends to be different, but again, everybody has a budget. Everybody does. And I think the biggest difference between residential and hospitality is the hard deadline.
Yeah.
The deadline for hospitality, there's no wiggle room. Residential, you have a little bit of play.
I can't, like, I've got all these questions because you've got so many things going on. You've got the show, you've got restaurants, you've got design projects. You're also talking here at KBIS about urban calm.
Yeah.
And harnessing micro nature in the city. I live in a city.
Yeah.
I would like to know how I can do this.
It was a really interesting panel that we did yesterday, and it was about a lot about that, you know, the B word, biophilia, which everybody's talking about, right?
Right.
You know, and I was saying that in my mind, when I hear that word, I immediately think greenery, plants, but there's a lot more to it. And we were talking about how there's these organic textures in countertops and tile. There's a lot of different ways that you can introduce biophilia and a sense of calm into your space.
Well beyond plants.
Right.
Well, that's good because I have an orange tree that I have basically just about killed.
Oh no.
I can't keep it alive.
Save the
So
tree,
I
right?
need other things where I can get the same effect.
Yeah.
So you're putting it into
it's
your home in other ways.
It's a lot of different things because it's sound, it's lighting, it's the temperature of your light in your space. You know, if it's too bright or too fluorescent, that is not calming.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
So you might want to go for a 2700 Kelvin temperature or shades that bathrooms, kitchen and bathrooms, there's a lot of hard surfaces. So where are you bringing that softness and calm in? So it was pretty interesting conversation.
Is 2700 Kelvin, is that your perfect lighting?
To me, it's perfect.
That's perfect.
Yes.
Wait, what is it again?
2700 Kelvin.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Everybody wants to know that.
Yeah.
So if you want to create a sense of nature in a small space, how do you do that?
That to me is a very simple answer with just adding some plants and greenery. And there are some really
maybe some that
plants
don't need a lot of water.
They don't need a lot.
Cacti,
right?
Aloe vera plants.
There you go.
I can leave for a few weeks and not have to worry about
Trust me,
them.
I've actually killed some succulents in my life, so even they
People
need
keep
a little
asking me if this orange tree that I have is real, and I'm like, yeah, it was. It arrived alive,
right.
and it's sort of like on its last
Maybe
legs.
you're paying too much attention to them. Sometimes they just want to be left alone.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
It's like an introverted plant.
Yes, exactly. Like they need their space.
I love that. And then vertical gardens. Is that another way to kind of like
Sure, absolutely.
design for a small space if you don't have like a lot of surface space?
Right, to bring micro nature or whatever that is, you know. And again, like I was saying, it could actually even be a leather finished countertop.
Oh, wow.
Right, or a very textural fabric on a bar stool. Like there's just introducing fabrics into a space is a really great way.
Well, speaking of sort of textures, you have a line of wall coverings now and tiles.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you. You know what? It's funny because I'll speak first more about the wall covering because that came first. It was a really long process. In my design firm, we have our materials library like people do, and I would always look at the books on the shelves and be like, I'd see all these other designers' names and I thought, well, why can't my name be on one of these?
Good for you.
Yeah, so I started to hit up my reps and asked to be introduced to, you know, the president of their company And I finally connected with MDC Interior Solutions. They're a global company that does a lot more than just wall covering. But I have been, and Lentex is the other, so they're the manufacturer, MDC is the distributor. I go into the studio, I'm screen printing, and we're doing art, and we're pulling color. Like, it is the essence of what I've always wanted to do. So I'm really proud of it, and it's very personal to me, and it's commercial grade. So I can use it for my hospitality projects.
In your restaurants or
Full circle.
in your,
Yes.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's great. And now the tile is new. That's with Jen Rose.
Where did you pull this inspiration from for your patterns and designs?
I stick to my core belief of that my neutral, so I do color, but neutral color,
Yeah.
like this is what I'm wearing, you know. You'll see greens, but they're muted. Even pinks, it's a more muted. And all of the colors work together. So,
That's perfect.
yeah, and I was trying to fix a problem as a designer. A lot of times, by the time the contractor orders it, it's out of stock. So then you almost have to reinvent the whole wheel again. So I wanted to make sure all of these colors work together. So if I had to pick another one, it's gonna work, and everything like is a lot more
well,
seamless.
you've really thought through this.
I love it so much. Can you tell? I'm like
Well, I'm
passionate.
excited to see it.
Thank
Congratulations.
you.
And what are we calling the line? Is it your name?
It's Taniya Nayak, yeah, with MDC Interior Solutions.
Congratulations on all of your success
Thank
and
you.
everything that you're doing.
I appreciate
And now
it.
I need to come up to New Hampshire to go to that
Yeah,
restaurant.
Boston, New Hampshire, we've got
Yes.
restaurants all over the place. Let's do a bar hop.
I would love
Yes.
it. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
coming.